you are someone that, you were in this super big mega role for Qatar Living CEO. I mean, that is kind of the biggest job.
It has been, yeah. It was the biggest role I've ever had.
No, but sure. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I remember so many years ago when we did that podcast, and you and your wife had this amazing company, Mudaris, right?
Mudaris, correct. But the thing is, no matter what you tell them, people still think they can do it better, they can do it different, and maybe they can, And so, like, the best way you're gonna learn is going through it yourself. Yeah. And saying that is just like a message to everybody who's young and, somehow stumbled on this podcast. It doesn't matter what you do or what you study in your life, You're going to do something at the end that is probably different and probably what you like, hopefully, but it's different. So it doesn't matter, You want to study engineering, study it. You'll suffer a little bit, but then things will be okay. Or you want to study philosophy, study it,
Yes, warm welcome everyone to the Agents of Happiness show. And you know what? Today it's family time. It's families here in the studio. And I am super happy. I have to say, I'm very happy.
I am psyched and excited. I can't wait to start this. I'm happy to be here.
We need to just roll it on. So please, Mr. Haitham,
yes.
Tell us, who are you, for those who doesn't know?
So my name is Haitham Al-Haidari. I am from Yemen.
Yep.
I've been here for about 15 years. I came here as a student, and then I went into entrepreneurship. And then together with my wife, started so many crazy companies. And recently, I was the CEO of Qatar Living, and it was an amazing journey so far.
I mean, you are so inspiring, and I have, had the honor of knowing both you and your wife for I think you guys were one of the first I met when I stumbled into Doha.
Really?
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And because today I was Googling and just because we did a podcast.
That was probably our first podcast ever. That was amazing. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was so fun.
I know.
And, I was so impressed because I was the co-host for a show. And since then, we have, we were friends.
Yeah.
From the very
we're
first
connected
time.
on different things. And we've gone through so many different, experiences and things in life, and it's crazy how many things changed since then. And it's,
but then you think about it, it's 8 years ago, or 7 since we met, and 7. It doesn't sound super long, 7 years.
No, I still think 2019 was 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't feel like, but if you think about it, quite a lot have happened.
Yeah.
Pandemic.
In the country, in the world, in our lives.
Yeah. But so, I know you quite well, and your wife, and we're following each other on, when you're following someone also on Instagram, it feels like you're so connected.
Yeah.
It's
you're connected every day, It's it doesn't matter how many years. Yeah, for sure.
So tell me, so what is your key? Your golden key to happiness.
Golden key to happiness. Well, if I knew it, I would probably be a monk. I would just.
You would say a millionaire.
Oh, such an interesting. So maybe not money what makes me happy. Maybe which is kind of true. A lot of people would think that because I'm into business and tech and whatnot is. Money is what I'm after. It's not. And maybe if it's one thing that makes me tech, it's seeing more people happy, to be honest. I love doing things with big impact. And when I see big impact actually improves lives, make people happier, make people, it improves them, they're in peace. It's when I just feel content, And this is kind of with people. And for myself is definitely when I see my second half, my wife, when I see her always, happy, it definitely changes everything in my day. So that definitely makes me happy. And I think also being in nature, visiting different places, understanding more cultures, learning about different understandings about people, Whether those understandings and thoughts are happy or sad, just makes me happy that I'm living this life and experiencing it. You know, so this is what I'm thinking about when you think of what's my golden key of happiness.
Oh, I
But,
love it. It's hard to answer, right?
Yeah,
It's like, what is your golden? It's like, okay, well, I don't
you
know.
know.
No, but
Also, maybe $1 billion. That's
$1 billion, and no, but you're right. But the thing is, something that, through the episodes we have done with the Agents of Happiness, because now you're officially an agent of happiness.
Oh, that makes me happy too. I'll add
Yes,
it to the
but
list.
also an ambassador of happiness.
Yeah.
Because when we were connecting, you're like, Anne, I want to be on the show, and I was like, yeah, you are on the show. Because for me, you're not like personified. No, how do you say it? When you think about someone, and that person is like a happy person. Well, I know it in Swedish, but
I can't think of it. Say it in Swedish, and then we can put the subtitles.
Personifierad, personified. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Personification?
Yeah,
is it?
maybe it's the English word.
Probably.
Maybe we can do a little bit of subtitles here in the video.
And it's a moment to also for people to learn a little bit of Swedish.
Exactly. And me learning a little bit of English. No, but so the thing is, when we were talking and I was like, come on the show, because for me, you are someone that, you were in this super big mega role for Qatar Living CEO. I mean, that is kind of the biggest job.
It has been, yeah. It was the biggest role I've ever had.
No,
for
but
sure.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I remember when so many years ago when we did that podcast, and you and your wife had this amazing company, Modaris, right?
Modaris, correct.
Modaris. And for you who doesn't know, it's like a
tutor connection platform.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
And it's so cool. And I was so amazed. And, I was funneling a lot of like, you should be in contact with these guys. And for me, that is happiness. Because you are the same person, you like to be at service.
Yeah.
To help. And I think that is the key to happiness.
So, I mean, you're in the same field then of like, you like to see people happy, that makes you happy.
Yeah.
It's, like when I saw the show, I was like, oh, this is amazing, because unlike all other, podcasts and interviews I've done, it's all, business and like very serious stuff.
Yeah.
This is just like life.
It's because come on, the thing is, my dear friend, we are here so short time.
That is so true. This is so true, and it's a lot of these questions are not being asked even in social circles. You sit with your friends or whatnot, and no one asks like, "Hey, what made you happy this week?"
No,
it's not a thing. We imply of what made us happy by sharing news.
Yeah.
But not specifically of like, "Hey, I've done this, and it just made me extremely happy." A very specific thing, and I think more conversations like these ought to happen. I have them with my wife, especially when we travel and we go to the places that are like amazing to be in or see, and we're like, oh, this is what life is about.
Yeah.
But also like sharing it with people, I think you share with them keys of happiness so they can try it themselves.
Yeah, you're right.
Because no one knows really what the key of happiness is. So if we share all the keys...
No, it's a lot of keys, right?
Right? One of them will fit.
Yeah, no, but I think it's, so my dad, apparently he's asking my mom every evening when they are going to go to sleep. He said to my mama, are you happy with your day?
Wow, that's really nice.
And I was so touched and moved when I heard that. And he would be very upset if I said that now in the radio. But I don't think he'd tune in to
that would not be his happy day.
Because he wouldn't be happy. But I think that is kind of cute. They have been married for, 62 years.
Wow.
And, asking that same question every day. Are you happy with your day?
That's such a nice way to touch base on what you're doing. Many years ago, my wife said something that just stayed with me as one of life lessons. And she said, no matter what, make the happy days outnumber the bad days.
Yeah.
And that's what just life is about.
Wow.
And, that resonated me so much because, bad things will happen all the
No,
time.
of course.
What you need to do is just you minimize that as much as possible, and you increase the happy days as much as possible. And this is what life is about,
Yeah.
And it's sometimes it's not just in time, it's in quality of experience, right? A lot of people, for example, even here in Qatar, they're very busy. They have a number of days where they go take vacation,
Yeah.
a year, right?
Yeah.
And I hear people say like, oh, like I had a meeting. I consult with some clients, right? To help them with their companies or investors, to help them with investments and stuff. And I sat with somebody, and he once told me that only twice in my life I had a 3-week vacation.
What?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, that's insane. I mean, work is great, but like,
Yeah, but
twice in your life, you're in your 40s or something, and you're doing, So, but then again, it's not also about the time. Definitely, even if he's seeing this, I encourage him to take more time.
take more time.
Right?
Yes.
But sometimes what you do in these 2 or 3 weeks where you are, make sure that it's where you maximize, the happiness factor you're trying to find.
And also trying to find, even if we don't go for a vacation, every month, try to do something every day that makes us happy instead of
Right.
just waiting for the weekend or waiting for the holiday or waiting for that.
Absolutely,
We need to live
absolutely.
here.
And I think it has to be written somewhere on a paper, because you can easily just forget it with stress and work and,
Yeah.
stuff. And just to find, okay, what can I do today that it's not going to take an hour and, half of my bank account and whatever it is, just one thing that I'll just feel good before I sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
To some people it's working out or gym,
Yeah.
which is like, please teach me how. It feels like a punishment for
How do
me.
you- how do you do it?
I
How do you
know.
make it happy?
Every time I'm like, this is a key of sadness. What am I?
I don't like this key.
It
It feels good afterwards.
Yeah. And I think with today's world, it's so easy to think, I'm just gonna go and scroll.
Yeah.
And what do they call it? Death scroll, or I can't remember the saying.
Oh
but
yeah, I
it's-
know what I mean. It's just like, it's just waste.
Yeah, it's just you keep scrolling and you think you're gonna go there to get that dopamine hit of some happiness, but it just turns into just going like being a machine that just like reads content that doesn't process, right?
No.
I'm definitely guilty of that myself, but I try to educate myself like to do other things, other activities around. I came back to playing video games now that I have a little bit more time.
I remember that.
I even like made a small trivia game at home for us to play.
Nice.
It's so I'm trying to do a few more things when my friends come over.
Yeah.
I show them some of the projects I'm doing home, and they're like, "You're definitely free." But I'm like, I used to do Lego. Now I do like these 3D metal puzzles, and
Oh, wow.
my wife does these DIY little houses where it's like a small house like this, but
Yeah.
everything is miniature in it. So it's like a
Aw.
little baguette, and it's like you can do it from scratch. Like little flowers.
Wow.
And it's like really nice, cool. These DIY houses. So we try to do different hobbies where now I'm back to chess.
Nice.
So yeah.
But it's also something, as you say, it's nothing just like,
Yeah, as
It's-
long
it's
as
something
you do
that is
something
real.
different, and at some point also something without screen.
Yeah.
At some point I was doing other things, but my wife was saying, "By the way, you're still on your screen." I'm like, okay, so I put my phone down, and then I'm on the iPad, and it's just like you're still on screen.
by the
right?
way, you're on a screen
Yeah.
now, just not your phone.
But
But it's terrible. I remember not long time ago, my phone went, something happened. It just froze. And my heart froze.
and you're like,
No,
what
honestly,
now?
What, it's so weird because you're kind of an extension of everything.
Yeah, and
It's
this
like-
is the thing. I mean, look, I hate to call it a smartphone. It's nothing but a phone.
No.
Like the least thing you do on it is phoning.
No, you
someone,
don't want to talk
know?
to people.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking like, okay, it's a smart thing.
Yeah.
That okay, when I'm reading books, I'm still reading on it. But sometimes you really need to look at different colors,
Yeah.
not processed colors, right? Like you need to look at nature, you need to look at a lot of things happen around, even if you're traveling, even if you're with people and whatnot. And um, I'm gonna reference my wife a lot. She said a lot of good
I mean,
things,
she's a smart person.
She's pretty
She's a
wise,
very smart
And one day
person.
she was like, "Always remember to look up."
Yeah.
And so sometimes I walk and then I remember that and I look up and I see crazy things I've never noticed before, you know? And it's fun. And that's when I noticed that I started taking more pictures with my phone of things around me is when I look up,
Yeah.
you know? But it's looking forward. And now I think in general, we're just like, we put that vision a little bit down because of the phone.
Yeah.
So we're, you know,
And we
looking
have these
this.
problems, you know,
my
everybody of
God.
us have these lumps.
You know, the next few generations, humans will look weird.
No, we will look different. But
Necks will be down, eyes will be big.
But that is a good thing. Look up, and especially when you're in a city,
Yeah.
right? Then you see all the houses and you see all these beautiful things on the buildings.
And graffitis and different people making, you know, different DIY projects in their balconies
Yeah.
and plants
Yeah,
and
because
birds.
that is, people are doing it, one, for themselves, of course, but also for others to enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, it's sad that, you know, not enough people, I guess, looking up.
No.
You know?
But look up, people, look up.
Absolutely, yeah.
But also, what I'm doing in the morning when I'm doing my morning walk, before I was, you know, listening to something, Swedish radio, stuff like that. But I have now no distractions. It's just this. The brain.
It is.
The brain
It
is there
yeah.
to me to
Just
actually
being
think
by
stuff.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just listen to your thoughts and
Yeah.
and
And the birds.
and the birds and just natural sounds.
Yeah.
And it's crazy what can happen, you know, just if you let yourself go. I like, for example, one of the things I like is, you know, taking up new projects. Sometimes the projects will finish, sometimes they won't finish. Sometimes, especially if like with people, somebody wants some help and, hey, can I just call you for half an hour to learn about, you know, how to start a company or how to, I want to move to Qatar, what are the, you know, whatever it is. So I'm like, if I have time, I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And it's not like it has any direct like impact or benefit for me, but I always know that I will learn something new from it no matter what, and it'll come handy sometime.
Yeah.
And it always did, you know. And so just to say, I'm just gonna take this experience. It was just like walking outside for no reason and no phone or anything, sitting home again to doodle or whatever it is. Something sometime, even a year later, will come where you say that thing had a little bit change
Yeah.
and positive thing in you. You know, it helped you in something.
Because it's all connected. It's just
No
that we
matter
are
what.
we are so kind of distracted, and we are kind of not connected with ourselves and our happiness and our, you know, our foundation of
Yeah,
of
because we don't
us.
know what makes us happy, you know,
No.
because we didn't spend enough time to think what makes us happy,
Yeah.
you know. An influencer on TikTok is making us laugh and we keep going back to it because we think that's happiness, or, you know, at least that's short time feeling good.
Yeah. No,
you
you're
know.
right.
But sitting to say, okay, what could I do now to really feel satisfied, content with my time or my day? And we're all guilty of it. It's important to remember that all the time. Maybe I should have like a big thing written on the wall. Or you know what? Maybe I should have it as the background of my phone to, to remind me. I'm more on it, you know? It's like, oh, okay.
Okay, you're right. No, but you know, I try to do this every day. I try. I'm not a saint. I am not perfect. But in the evening when I go to bed, I'm thinking about my day. You know, have I been nice? And of course, I haven't been nice
That's
all the time.
That's.
I haven't. You know, I'm trying.
I mean, it's you. I can't not
Yeah, but-
imagine you not being nice.
I have ask my husband. He knows. He knows. No, but the thing is, and then you know, there's always a chance to go back to either that person or that feeling, or just make it right again the day after. Because I believe if we are just walking through life without taking, you know, hold accountable for what we are, who we are, and what we do, then we become a little bit like nasty, I think.
It takes off from your humanity, for sure.
Yeah, and
you
I
know?
think it's better to go back and do your, like, hey, the thing I did yesterday, it wasn't maybe the nicest, so please, can I do something to make it better?
It's, it definitely is easier said than done.
Yeah.
And I wish it was like that for a lot of people because, also a lot of people have ego where it's like, it's hard to get off. And I think that is,
The egos, like,
and everybody has,
all of
a
us
level
have it.
of
Yeah.
ego where it's, it happens to me too. But I think like the more we're stuck on it, the more we miss on great moments.
Yeah, you're
you know?
right.
And it's important to kind of step away a little bit from that.
Yeah, and once again, we are here so short time. Like so short. It's like
It's a blink.
it's like a blink. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone was saying, I know I keep coming back to this, but I like this way of thinking. Is life is like you open a window, you take a deep breath, and then you close it again.
And
That's life.
it. Yeah.
So what are you going to do with that breath?
Yeah.
How are you going to feel with that breath?
Absolutely, absolutely. And like even for us Muslims in Quran, it tells you that, after we believe in coming back from the dead and Judgment Day and everything. So at that point, God says about asking people how long do you think you've lived, and they think that it's just a few days or a few hours. That's how it feels.
Wow.
And so it's just very short.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, we talked about this. The pandemic always feels 2 years ago.
Yeah.
No matter
so
how
strange.
long, I know
It's
always
like
feels
5
2
years ago, but
yeah,
it's
and
2
I'm
years ago.
like, wow, it's
And there we were.
yeah. It's, the other day I saw probably the first interview I had in 2014 when I had my very first business, and I look at it and I'm like, wow. Like I remember this like it was yesterday. I looked like such a baby.
Yeah.
And it was just like, if you tell me how long ago, I'll be like, what, 40 years ago? And it's like 11.
Yeah, I know.
You
It's
know.
so weird.
So
It's like when I was looking at our clip today, I was like, oh my goodness, I look like a baby
I
girl.
know,
La, la,
I know.
la,
It was
la.
like, and it was, that was such a fun time.
But it's amazing. But so, my dear friend, I am so curious to know. I know you have a lot of friends, family, your wife, and all those close ones. And if you see that they are kind of not suffering, but you see that their level of happiness and, what you do? Do you have like, do you do anything or try to be
I'll
there
be
for
honest.
them? Or?
Before I used to try to, I don't want to say lecture, like, advice, right? Like, hey, I think I've kind of figured it out. Why don't you try this and this? And
Yeah.
And then I realized that people are different.
Yeah.
Duh.
Duh.
And people have different understandings. People think a lot of the choices I make, they would never do it because it's just what matters to them, what happiness is for them is different.
Yeah.
Right? So now I'm more like, listen, I am there for you,
Yeah.
but go through your experience. Sometimes it's important to go through pain. Like, sure, but remember I'm there for you.
That's nice.
But I don't think I can influence somebody because at some point, and we found this maybe with our parents or something at some point where somebody would try to even force it on you because they think they know better for you than you know for yourself. And I think, people are, they've learned life differently. They've gone through different struggles. What's happiness to you might not be happiness to them. How you deal with problems is not the same. The kind of your appetite for pain, for risk, it's all different. And so, hey, if you need help, tell me how I can help.
Yeah.
But, go through your experience.
Love
and this
that.
is like even with, youngsters when they're like asking, oh, I want to do engineering or something, right? Like I did engineering, and I tell people don't do engineering, right?
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Kids, don't do it.
Don't.
Don't try this at home.
But the thing is, no matter what you tell them, people still think they can do it better, they can do it
Yeah.
different, and maybe they can, And so, like, the best way you're going to learn is going through it yourself. And saying that is just like a message to everybody who's young and, somehow stumbled on this podcast. it doesn't matter what you do or what you study in your life. You know, you're gonna do something at the end that is probably different than probably what you like, hopefully, but it's different. So it doesn't matter. You know, you want to study engineering, study it. You'll suffer a little bit, but then things will be okay. Or you want to study philosophy, study it. You know.
No, but it's interesting what you're saying, because I think that all of us are born, you know, we have all our unique gifts. We all have. You have your gift and I have my gift. And as you say, even if we are doing, you know, some education that was not maybe meant to be, it's still part of the journey, right?
It is.
And it's part of the big canvas.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's important to understand it's a unique canvas.
Yeah.
Canvas, right? It's this is maybe my way of seeing it, might be too, you know, like, I don't know, altruistic or crazy out there, but every one of us truly is a miracle. You know, the chances of you being Anne today with everything that you are is 1 in 600 trillion.
Can you believe?
Trillion.
We won.
Yeah, that is not a number by chance.
No, but it's amazing.
It's crazy, like the chances of you
Yeah.
curing cancer compared of you existing today. Curing cancer is cute compared to you existing today.
I know.
So everyone literally is a miracle.
Yeah.
And so just to recognize a little bit that you're a miracle and you can do a little bit more for yourself and then more for people,
Yeah.
it changes something in you. And I think this is where, you know, kind of I come from the thinking that I'm thinking about. It's not that, you know, it's not that, hey, I'm better than everyone else. It's not a competition.
no.
It's, I am a miracle. Everybody else is a miracle. I'm trying to fulfill the miracle I am, and I think people should. You know, and everybody is a genius at something. You just need to find it.
Yeah, and also we have that responsibility for ourselves, because the fact that we are a
100%.
miracle, we won, we are here. We
You owe it to yourself.
Yeah,
to-
because you know we need to make the whole show
Yeah,
of the whole show that is the life must mean something, and we
Absolutely.
every day do something that we are proud of.
absolutely. You know, and it's if it's not something you can do for yourself, try something to do for others.
Exactly, because that is a bit more win.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you
Yeah.
know, what can I do for you more than what's in it for me?
And crazy enough, sometimes it's easier to make somebody happy than to make yourself happy.
But in the end, you are getting happy.
Yeah, there is. This is the whole idea of, you know, is everything selfish in life? Maybe. Because, like, even if you're doing something out of selflessness,
Yeah.
it still comes back to you.
Of
right?
course, and I think that, you know, when we are not just like, oh, I've done 10 nice things today. No. We cannot count them, and we cannot, you know, like, oh, I did this for you. No, that thing will come back to you
Yeah.
one way or another.
Yeah.
Not maybe from that person, but it could be in 10 years.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
how it works.
call it what you call it. I mean, you know, karma is real.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, give
It's
good,
real.
give bad, it'll always come back to you.
Yeah, it always, and I think that is something to think about and to practice. You know, to in all my affairs, trying to be a good person as much as I can. And again, I am not the same. I am
Believe
just
me, it's-
human.
If you're trying, you're doing the. You know, I always say humans are, you know, part angel, part demon. You know, and it's just where do you weigh more?
Yeah,
And there is a part where you become close to an angel if you do so much, like if you're becoming a saint, or
yeah.
or you do so much bad that you become a demon.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you lose humanity, and you see it today every day with, you know,
You
on the
see it
screens.
so
And
much today.
It's important to lean more into the good in you, because it might be selfish to do that, and that's okay, because selfishness can also result in selfless acts.
Yeah, and also it's become a ripple effect.
Yeah,
So if
for
you
sure.
are, you know, even if, you know, a lot of people are saying, including myself, oh, what can I do? I'm just a little dot. Hey, we can do so much.
Yeah,
By
absolutely.
starting here, within.
Yeah.
And be happy, be nice, and be kind, because kindness is a superpower.
It is, and it's something that I even like recently put out on LinkedIn is that superpower let's talk about our community here today, is it's important to be held by leaders and managers, especially in companies, because here in Qatar, a lot of our family is work. We work a lot. We spend a lot of work, and so it's important that managers be kind to their teams.
Absolutely.
And show them, because you try to improve your team and also improve their happiness. Make them feel heard, make them feel. Because you're not doing a favor to them. This is, I think you owe it to everybody who works with you to make them feel good, to be there for them, and to improve them.
Yeah. You're right. I love that. I love that. And I'd love to ask you one more thing. So, because we are sitting here, radio station, radio microphones, radio stuff.
It's pretty cool, right?
Pretty cool. We are in the real radio thing. So tell me about what is your relationship, what is your experience, and what is your feeling about the medium of radio?
Listening to radio, well, first of all, it's interesting because you don't know what's going to happen next, right? But it's one of these things that people would keep, you'd keep listening to shows or something that would happen, and you have your own thoughts, and sometimes you even speak back to it.
Yeah. You're right.
And I like it's different, and I think it's an important factor where there are a lot of shows. It's not just about the entertainment, right? There's a lot of shows that discuss community issues. Things that would happen, things that people want to hear someone else talk about. And yes, you can find that in similar media like podcast, but the whole thing I think about radio is, especially if it's live, is that you feel like the person is very close, and you respond and no one is listening to you, but that's good. You don't want people to sit to hear what you're saying back. But it's, I think radio is one of these things that is old, will stay old.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to change, and it'll stay there.
Yeah.
It's not gonna, for example, the whole idea of live broadcasting of TV or stuff like that, TVs themselves, the whole concept is changing. But I think radio, even with podcasts and whatnot, it's a medium that I think will stay. No matter what. It's just a basic thing that you need.
Do you remember your first, I guess you also have a radio back in your home, maybe with an antenna, maybe with this thing that you were, do you remember?
Some of these programs that I still play them on YouTube till today. They never exist anymore, but they were such, the other day, I think during Eid or whatnot, I woke up one day, and then I was just singing this song from, a TV show back, like in the 90s.
Yeah.
From back home. And I was like, what is that? I'm like, oh, and I started telling her about that radio. And it was amazing because it talked to the public, with all its different educational levels, with all its different, experience and what I just spoke their language. It's a very simple medium where you just put the antenna. And, that's it. You get it, right?
And there it is.
Yeah. And so it's just, I think, it's one of the things that humanity should be proud of. One of the list achievements of
Yeah, it's cool, and it's you're coming out there. And I have some shows that I'm really looking forward to. That now you can do them. Over your podcast. You just can download them, but. There are some live shows that I'm just so much looking forward to. But as you say, they become like friends.
Yeah, and there are a lot of other dimensions to it. I don't want to get philosophical here, but in every apocalypse movie or show, you always find people the sign of life is looking for a radio signal.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's like when everything is done and dusted.
When we don't have our phone.
Yeah, the only thing you're gonna look for, it's that little signal.
I actually have one at home, one battery radio.
With the antenna and everything?
Yes.
Does it still work?
Yes. No, I bought it new.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
I will share you where I bought it. Because it's good.
Yeah.
Not because I think the world is going to end.
Well,
don't worry.
If it does, now you're ready.
Everybody knows. I have a radio.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you
it's
so
it's really
much.
cool with the. Yeah.
Thank
no.
you for being you. And thank you for
Thank
being
you
a
so
happy
much.
person. And thank you for being so generous with yourself, your time.
Thank you for
And
bringing me here. This is, probably the highlight of the week.
oh,
So,
yes, it's the
you made me
highlight.
happy.
Yeah, you
Thank
made me happy. So shukran, mashkoor.
Thank you.
Thank you
Afwan,
so much.
afwan.
And as we say in Sweden, tack.
I know that one because my brother is Swedish. So
I know, tack. Masalama.
Yeah,
Thank you so much
yeah.
for coming.
Thank you.
Shukran.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.